Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I am continuing my February topics of love, lust, and seduction, and today we are talking all about how to write sexual tension, aka the topic that I have been dying to talk about. Number one is conflict. Go ahead and take a look at what you know about your characters and kind of just think about what sort of tensions and conflicts would be between them, maybe because of their personalities, backgrounds, beliefs, what the fuck ever. So for example, if your characters don't get along super well at first for whatever reason, guess what that causes? You guessed it, tension. Once you've decided what your conflicts are, the next thing you want to figure out is how long that they are going to last. In some books, conflict can be as short as one chapter, and in others, they can be as long as one book or more. So this all largely depends on how long you want the tension itself to last, because in my experience when it comes to sexual tension, there are usually at least 2 or 3 conflicts, and it's usually not just one. Just knowing the different conflicts that you want to create and how long they are going to last, and all of these conflicts are going to create a bunch of tension between your characters, which is exactly what we want. Number 2 is awareness and emotional responses. When it comes to writing sexual tension, usually MCs will fall into one of 2 camps. One is where your MC literally has absolutely no idea about this tension going on and they are super oblivious. This is obviously a little bit harder to do just because since your MC isn't fully aware of this tension going on, you know, it makes it a little harder to communicate it through the narrative. And this can also lead into a lot of other storytelling issues, like for example for me as a reader, I've noticed that a lot of the times when this is shown in books, it's just, in my opinion, done very poorly, and it's like it's just too obvious to the point where you're kind of left in this position where you just feel like the MC is such a fucking idiot for not realizing this. This is the route that you are going to go. You are definitely going to want to just kind of be careful with how you're showing this, and in my opinion, the best way to execute this is to not focus on the awareness, obviously, because your MC is not aware, but rather focus on their emotions and physical responses. We'll talk about physical responses in a little bit. For now, when it comes to the emotions, it's honestly like super common for people to feel emotions and they're not really sure why they're feeling them, but they just know that they're a thing. On the flip side, if you are not writing a book where you are going for the MC is oblivious to the sexual tension thing, then things are going to be a bit differently. The emotional responses in this case might be a little bit more obvious to the reader just because the MC is a little bit more aware of these actions. And then it also means that you are going to be able to play into the awareness bit of this a lot more, because obviously now in this case your MC is aware that this is a thing going on. When it comes to awareness, you honestly have a ton of options, and personally my best advice is honestly just to consider your MC and their love interest and kind of just think about what sort of awareness they're going to have. So you could describe the MC getting hot all over, they could be noticing how hot their love interest is, stuff like that, and these levels of awareness are in turn going to affect the emotions that you describe. So for example, if you are talking about the hotness of the love interest, then the reader is probably going to expect for the MC's emotions kind of just show a bit of a more excited or horny feel. And next, number 3 is dialogue. So dialogue is one of my favorite parts of writing in general, just because I love how with dialogue it is such an effortless way to show character voice and the different relationships between the characters, and this is seriously an invaluable tool to use when creating sexual tension, but it's also the one that you can fuck up so easily. Honestly, the best way to make sure that your dialogue kind of hits the mark is honestly just to have critique partners and beta readers. Like I just mentioned, dialogue is a really easy way to show character voice and personality and relationships and shit like that, so take advantage of that when you're writing these scenes of sexual tension. Think about what logically your characters would be saying in the moment, and sometimes this will require for you to kind of go back to the drawing board with your character, which if you have to do so, honestly do it, because it is seriously such an important thing. And once you have your character's voice and personality nailed down, it's usually really easy to be able to figure out what they would be saying during these moments of sexual tension. Number 4, word choice. So I mentioned this in my how to write a perfect first kiss video, mostly because word choice is honestly, in my opinion, one of the most important things in general about writing romance. So obviously I had to mention it in this video because, again, word choice can do you a world of good or a whole lot of bad when writing sexual tension. So at this point in your writing process, you should probably have a pretty vague idea of what vibe you want for these various scenes of sexual tension to have. And I do want to make a note that these vibes can change as these scenes go on, but it can be very helpful to at least consider a general vibe that you are going to be going for. That way you can reflect it in your word choice. Do you want these moments of tension to be exciting for your characters, or do you want it to be terrifying, or maybe you want it to be a little bit of both? Maybe you're going for soft, more romantic tension, or maybe you are going for some really hot, steamy sexual tension. Whatever the case may be, consider the vibe that you are going for and think about your words and how you can use these words in order to convey the tone and the vibe of your scene. Number 5 is physical sensations. I think this is probably the most obvious part of sexual tension, because I think while a lot of the others on this list I see messed up a lot, this is probably one that I think the majority of authors can nail fairly well, just because I think it's really simple. Basically, what you want to do here is just close your eyes and think, what would my character be feeling in this moment? Maybe your MC is hot all over, or maybe their breath is hitched, or maybe their breath is very ragged and dry. Go on and on and on, but you kind of get my point. Just think about the physical aspects of it and kind of how that's going to affect the sexual tension. And also, this is very important, again, when it comes to the vibe of the sexual tension scenes that you are going for. And then we have my personal favorite, which is number 6, Veneer Touch. This is what gets me going in sexual tension. When I get to write this shit, I am so happy. My spirit is like out the window. Oh my god. So the near touch is when your characters are so close. Maybe their fingers lightly raised, but oh no, they don't hold hands. Or maybe their faces are so close where they could kiss, but oh no, someone walks in. Or oh no, it's too soon. No, we can't. The near touch is the best. The near touch is what is going to make your readers so mad because they just want those characters to kiss or to bone or whatever. But no, you, the evil author, are not letting your characters do it yet, and you're making the readers mad. But you know what? It's gonna make everything worth it. And it's just, it is literally my favorite part about sexual tension. It is so incredible. And again, like with everything else that I have mentioned here, think about the vibes that you want to give up with, not just these scenes, but with the relationship as a whole. So for example, if you were going for a little bit more of a soft romance, then the hand almost holding thing is going to work very well. But if you're going for something a little bit more steamy, then the almost kisses can work very well. And then you can also, again, combine this with other parts on the list. So for example, with the almost hand holding, I think like a hitched breath would be very good. But then like with almost kiss, hot all over, could definitely work very well. So it's really just about, in my opinion, combining the elements of this list and of other things that I didn't mention that you want to include in order to make the best possible scenes of sexual tension that you can make. And with that being said, that is all that I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope I gave you some good tips on, honestly, probably what was my favorite topic to film this month. And if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a big thumbs up and hit that big red subscribe button down below and turn those post notifications so you, yes you, know every time that I upload. And stay tuned for next week, because I'm not coming out with 1, but 2 videos. I know. And one of them may or may not be about my fictional lesbian crushes. I'm just saying, that is very, very, very possible. It's totally happening. And with that being said, I think that is all that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!